Hello there, my name's Jack Lydon, and this is my video demonstration for the database that I've created for my Year 3 databases module. So I'm going to start with the employee table. The employee table is where I keep all of the records about all of the different types of employees that are going to be with the driving school. So we have admin staff, which is a one-to-one mandatory relationship, manager, which is a one-to-one mandatory relationship, and instructor. All of the employees must be in an office, and one office can have many employees, so this is a one-to-many. Manager to instructor is an optional relationship because a manager can be an instructor, but not necessarily has to be an instructor. Okay, so the next relationship will be instructor to client. So one instructor can have many clients, and this is mandatory because the instructor has to be teaching someone, and a client must have an instructor. Okay, so client to interview is one-to-many, mandatory relationship because a client must have an interview when they first join. I've made this one-to-many because a client can potentially have more than one interview. Most driving schools offer schemes like Pass Plus, which is even if you have had an interview, you've passed your test, you can come back for extra training. Some job roles require this, like taxi driving, and driving schools do things like trailer licenses, lorry licenses, and stuff like that. So that's why I've made that one-to-many, because that same client could return and have another interview for something else. Okay, so now I'm talking about the client to lesson relationship. This is mandatory one-to-many. Obviously one client, most of them will have more than one lesson. In the lesson, we store things like the mileage, any notes about the lesson, and the date and time. Okay, so next is client driving test. This is a one-to-many relationship, and it's optional because, as I stated earlier, a client could have an interview and might not necessarily do a test. They could be there for other reasons. Okay, so in the test table, we take down the date and time, the success of the test, the feedback from the instructor, and the minor faults and major faults. Okay, so next we'll talk about the instructor to car table. This is a one-to-one mandatory relationship, and this is because one instructor can be using one car at one time, and in the car table I've chosen the attributes to be make, model, year, and colour. Okay, so lastly, we have car to inspection. This is a mandatory relationship, obviously, because every car must be inspected, and I've made this one-to-many because one car can have many inspections. The perfect way to give an example of this is, for example, every year a car must have an MOT a minimum of once a year. So the next thing I'm going to show is my queries running. So here are the tables in my database, and I've actually only got 11 tables, but 2 of them are showed up as views, instructor employee view and new car view. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to run my first query, which shows the name and telephone numbers of the managers in each office. So I'm going to copy this and paste. There we go. Okay, so next, this query, okay, what's this doing? This query is showing the names of all the female instructors based in a specific office. Paste that in, and there we go, Julie Smith. Okay, so next, this query will list the total number of staff that there are in each office. As you can see, 3 employees, 2 employees, 2 employees. Okay, so next, this shows if an instructor has an appointment scheduled for next week. So I'm going to copy that. And there should be, yeah, so here you go, this is me. And I have an interview next week at 1:30. Okay, so next, this gives the details of the interview that has been conducted by a specific instructor. So basically, when I paste this in here, it will be saying, so this was so it gives you the interview date, the time, and the name of the client that was taking the interview. This gives the name and telephone numbers of all the member of staff who are instructors. Oh, and sorry, I can't remember if it's over or under, and are over 55 years of age. There we go. Okay, so this gives the registration of cars that have 0 faults. And there we go. So these 2 cars don't have any faults. And they're Golfs. Okay, so query 8 shows query 8 shows the name of clients who have passed their driving test in a specific month. There we go. Hold on, sorry, that's not right. That was the previous one. That's right. There we go. Sorry, ignore this one, please. So this shows query number 8. Okay, so this shows clients who have sat their driving test more than 3 times and still haven't passed. Dan Smith. And finally, this query shows the average number of miles that are driven each hour in a driving lesson. I'm going to show my views running. So my views are here. As you can see, this will display all the employees who are instructors. And the second one will show all the cars that are newer than 2013. So the first one, here you go. This shows all the employees who are instructors. And the second one shows all cars that are newer than 2013. There we go. Right, so now I'm going to be calling this procedure here, which updates the lesson notes. So I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to call the procedure here. As you can see, 1 row affected. So I'm going to go select star from lesson. And as you can see, this is what I've inputted here. This driver is a very good driver. He doesn't need any more lessons. And as you can see there, it is updated. I'm going to test my triggers. So the first trigger that I've got, make sure that no lesson is being booked before the current date. And if it is, this message here will be displayed. So it'll say this date is in the past, please check the date. So this is the insert that I've created for it, which as you can see here, it's booked for the 1st of January 2016, which is in the past. So I'm going to copy this and paste. And as you can see, the date has already went by, you cannot book the lesson. So that one works. My next trigger will not allow you to a client to register if he or she is below 17 years old. So here's the insert that I've created for that. And as you can see, I have made the date of birth 2005. Okay, so I'm going to paste that in. And as you can see, it says the client needs to be at least 17 years old.
done your recordings?
I'm going to show my CRUD operations. I've done these all in the office table. So firstly, I'm going to create an office name. So I'll call testing. Testing for video. Street name can be test, city test, and postcode TE4. Okay, so insert that. And if I refresh, as you can see, there it is. Okay, so now if I want to update this table, this attribute, sorry, so I want to leave the office name the same, so I'll leave, I will write this as changed, and changed, and we'll go CCC 11C, and click. Oh, as you can see, this is now in the drop down menu, so I'm going to update that one. Update, refresh. As you can see, they've all changed. Okay, so finally, I'm going to delete that entry. So there we go, the office name, which was originally test. I updated it to call it change, and now I'm going to delete it. So I'll click delete and refresh, and there we go, and that's it done. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for the module so far. It's been really enjoyable.